Washington, D.C., Day 4 by Jessica, Ross, and Savannah. Sadly, today was our last day in beautiful Washington, D.C. We woke up bright and early at 6 in the morning, we packed our bags, and headed downstairs to get breakfast. When we arrived at breakfast, we were served a buffet of food. It was actually pretty good. Once we all finished breakfast, we went outside of our hotel to wait for our bus to arrive.
When the bus arrived, we got on for a 30-minute bus ride all the way to Mount Vernon. When we got inside the museum, we got to see the statue of Mr. Washington and his family. Then we finally got to see George Washington's house.
This is a model of the outside and inside of Mount Vernon, and this model was actually made in Missouri. The house was surprisingly well conserved. You even got to touch a banister that George Washington touched. When we got to the museum, we even got to see a 4D movie.
Once again, we got back on the bus and we took a short drive over to eat lunch. We ended up stopping at Primo's family-style restaurant. We ate chicken, pizza, and really good homemade cookies. Once again, we got back on the bus to take a short bus ride over to the Iwo Jima Memorial.
This is the Iwo Jima Memorial. It is an optical illusion. It can be soldiers putting a flag into the ground or soldiers raising a flag. This is the emblem on the side of the memorial.
Once again, we got on a bus and took a short ride to Arlington National Cemetery. This cemetery was huge, but sadly, they were running out of room to bury people. There was even a Medal of Honor winner buried there.
There were lots and lots of beautiful gravestones, and they were all different shapes and sizes. This was the grave of our president, John F. Kennedy. Right next to his grave, there was a flame that it will always be lit and will never go out to resemble his presidency.
Then we got to see the tomb of the unknown soldier, a soldier from each war that the USA fought in the tomb. We also got to see the changing of the guard. The guards walked 21 steps to the left and then 21 steps to the right.
Then we had to say goodbye to our tour guides, and we went on our last bus ride to Washington, D.C. National Airport. We went through security, and then we were given $10 to spend on it.
Since our plane was delayed for about an hour, all of us sat around, we played card games and other games until our flight finally got here. Our flight finally arrived and we boarded the plane and had to say our final goodbyes to Washington, D.C. Finally, we were back in beautiful Kansas City. And of course, school.
We would like to thank Mr. Fiegels, Miss Robertson, Miss Feaster, and Miss McCandless for making this trip awesome. We would also like to thank all of the chaperones who came on the trip, and our tour guides Rebecca and Bo.